Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. I know, it's been a minute. I mean, it's not been a minute for you because I've been getting videos up. Pre-filmed, yay! But it's been a minute for me. It feels kind of weird filming a video for the first time in 2 weeks. Yeah, so hello, I have missed you. This has been a long time for me. Feels kind of weird. But I went on holiday for 2 weeks in the summer during a little bit of an unpredicted heat wave. Yes! And I wanted to show you how my plants are doing after 2 weeks without me. They did have a plant sitter. Joe's dad was staying in our flat watching Cleo, and I had him water the plants once throughout the time. I didn't want to make too much of a burden for him. Probably should have done more. I could talk about that a little bit later. This is gonna be a long one. So grab yourself a cup of tea, grab a snack, and let's look at how my collection is doing. I'm smiling because if I don't, I might cry. If you're new here and don't know me already, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. Right, let's get into this unideal houseplant update. So as you can probably see, I did put sticky notes on my plant pots and kind of said water this one, don't water this one, etc. for all of them, and I think that definitely did help. It probably made it easier for Joe's dad. I can confirm that with him before I post this video, but I think it did help. I guess we could start with the IKEA cabinet. Things look pretty good in here. The temperature and stuff would be pretty regular in here, which it is, and like things will stay more moist in here, which is really good. I don't really see that much like super drying. Obviously the moss poles are dry, and so I'm going to need to give them like a massive soak, all of them. But overall I think things are doing pretty okay in here. There's like a little bit of floppiness here and there on some, ooh, why didn't I put that? Anyways, I was gonna say, why didn't I put this? Because I made a whole box of moss props that I'd water for them. I don't know why I didn't put this one in there, because like it very obviously needs water. Look how floppy that is. It's just been growing well in here, which is what you can expect from a cabinet. It is a controlled space, which it makes it a lot easier to care for your plants that way. But as you can see, the fungus gnat problem obviously did not go away. It's pretty bad. I think at this point I need to figure out a different solution to putting mosquito bits on everything. I might need to do a big hydrogen peroxide soak of everything, like proper dunking, which I guess I will do, but it's kind of gotten a bit out of control in here. And this is just 2 weeks of gnats because I replaced them just before I went away, so that is something I'm going to do fairly soon, I'd say. Oh, okay, so this is actually really good. So you remember my Sis's disc color that was like looking really, really sad, and so I potted it in soil. Look how well it's doing. It's going absolutely crazy. I'm thinking it's really, really happy with being in soil now. I mean, these leaves were already a bit bad, but the fact that it's grown so much while I was gone. I know they're fast growers, so like I'm not surprised it grew quickly, but not this quickly. Oh my god, look how beautiful that leaf is. Stunning. Anyways, yeah, I'm not surprised about anything really in this cabinet. I think it's all doing really well, and I'm pretty proud of it. I need to go through it like properly and water these moss poles because they are like bone dry, which is not good for them, but it'll be fine. It will be fine. I'm sure it will. Oh my goodness, my Ernestii that I got from Claire is rooting. Look at that. That's very exciting. Okay, let's leave the cabinet and carry on to that mess. Oh god. So I've got some plants along here, and there's one really big eyesore, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on with this one. So it had a red sticky on it, which meant do not water, which is fair. I didn't want it to be watered, and I don't think it's been watered. I think just before I left I might have watered it a little bit too much, and it might have just been sitting in water, because when I lift this, like, the pot feels really heavy. It doesn't feel light like it would if... I think I might be able to save this part if I remove these things here and repot it. But this whole big one is an absolute goner, which I'm so sad about because I loved this. This was the Silver Flame Sansevieria, but I haven't really seen more of them be sold. Like, if I have seen them sold, they're quite expensive, so it's just kind of like, it's really sad because I loved this one so much. This was one of my favorite Sansevierias, and now it's dead. Oh my goodness, it is so sad. I don't think I've ever seen one get this bad, because normally I would do something before it got this bad. Like, it's mushy and like really disgusting in there. I don't know what that is, but it's gross. Well, anyways, after this video / this week sometime, I'm gonna try and save this portion because I would really like to keep it. I don't want it to die. If I can possibly save it, that would be great, but who knows. We'll see when we'll see. But that's like the first major casualty of this video. In here, this is where I had my moss props, and these are doing so well because I had Joe's dad make sure that the water level was okay. You can see there's still a little bit of water in there, but all of the moss in these is still super moist, which means that they've stayed very happy, which is brilliant. This is exactly why I wanted to do something like this. And we've got some pretty crazy roots growing. What are these from? Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is one of my Cebu blues that's just like gone a bit mental. That's fun. But yeah, I think this was actually a really good solution if you're worried about moss props drying out too much while you're away. If you can like fill a tray with some water and let them sit on that for the entirety of the time, I think that would be absolutely perfect. Like the ideal thing to do, really. The rest of these plants seem pretty okay. Nothing that exciting. My Albo's doing really well. This was the one that I potted in my prepping to go away video. I put like a second one into this pot that I had propping, and I think it's doing really well now, which is exciting. So I'm glad that that's happening. I need to stake it up or move it away from this spot because it's now blocking the TV with this beautiful Albo-y white leaf. So yeah, it's time for a little bit of an upgrade for this one. Again, I feel like I just upgraded it 2 weeks ago, and now it's ready for a little bit more, which is super exciting. My begonia's gone a bit crazy as well. Like, do you see that? Like, I'm so glad I finally been able to like get this begonia to be happy, because I've been so bad with begonias like my entire planty career, but I just ignored this one and it's perfectly happy with that. But I do need to stake it and hopefully prop it up because it is quite tall, and maybe chop and prop. I don't know, we will see. That's a thought for another time. I'm busy this week. Over here, things are looking pretty good overall. There is like a little bit of yellowing leaves in here, which might just be from a bit of overwatering. Yeah, the soil feels quite damp, which is fine. Like, I'm not too worried about it. But I'll just remove those leaves when I water the moss pole, because those don't need to be in there. This one, however, I don't know how I noticed it, but this one has spider mites. Only on one leaf. I noticed a few little webs and some red spider mites, which is kind of annoying. I don't know where they would have come from, because it didn't have spider mites before I left, and it was only on one leaf, so it wasn't like a big infestation. But it's fine. I'm gonna give it an alcohol wiping this afternoon, I guess. But none of the other plants around it have it, which is good. Like, I've checked this Maranta as well, and it's been like completely clear. So I think it'll be okay. It was just like one random leaf, so I might have to quarantine you again. First you had thrips, now you got spider mites. Ah! Too many things. Over here, things look pretty good. I think they're just thirsty. Like, I can tell my philodendron fat boy is thirsty. It's just kind of being a bit droopy right now, which is perfectly reasonable. it needs more water, which is fair. Oh, my Anthurium crystallinum has another freaking new leaf. How freaking exciting is that? This was the last new leaf and it's absolutely huge. Like, they're big, so I'm just hoping it'll get even bigger. And I know it will. It's just so exciting because I love this plant so much. This is one of the faves for sure. Oh my god, I just love these leaves. I've missed my plants so much. Like, I loved being on holiday, but I missed taking care of my little planty babies. And obviously, like, Cleo, duh, but my plants. Also, sorry, it's like really hot today. It's supposed to be like 30 something. I mean, it's 29 degrees inside, so I'm sweating, yay! But that's why I'm filming this bright and early in the morning so I can sweat and get it over with and have a shower and be done. Oh, okay. Up here, this is actually super duper exciting. So this was producing some new growth right when I left. And oh my goodness, do you see how big these leaves are? Like, these are my biggest ZZ leaves. Like, all of the other leaves have been quite small. But this one is just huge. And I cannot wait to like watch it turn black with time, because I know it's going to be an absolute gorgeous process. You can see the previous new ones are starting to turn black in there. These are also pretty large because all of the other ones I had before were relatively small in comparison. So I am so excited about this one. It's just gonna be huge. I'm like falling back in love with my ZZ Raven. For a while I was feeling really meh about it, but now I'm like, yes. I think just because it's growing and it's like, it's in a lighter spot than it has been previously, and it is getting some grow light, which helps. Anyways, I'm in love with it and I'm so excited for this. See, like, it's not all bad. There's good stuff coming on in here too. So it's good. There's good news too. In other good news, what's it? This is a new leaf, which I guess only came out a little bit. It's a bit stuck, so I've just had to unstick it there. But this is a brand new leaf on my bird of paradise, which is exciting. And where's the other one? This was a new one as well. Again, exciting. And it's got this one. So it is just growing so well right now for me. It was a little bit sad for a while, those bottom leaves down there. Don't know what's going on with them. It doesn't have pests or anything, but I think they're getting a bit Cleo terrorized, which is unfortunate. But I'm just so excited. It's so big and beautiful. It's stunning. It is so stunning. So in the office, things are looking okay. Again, very thirsty. It is my fault that things are thirsty, which is totally fine. It's on me, but I should have just been more on top of it and texted Joe's dad to maybe do another watering mid this week. Originally, I said to water on the 9th, which I meant to say the 6th, which is a Saturday, but I said the 9th, which is a Tuesday, so they went a week and a half without water, which is not ideal, especially when it's this hot out. So it's fine, but I wanted to show you everything before I watered it, because I'm going to go around and water after this, because I want to show you like the legit reality of the situation and like show you how it really is, because it's not all perfect and there's a lot of work that I'm going to have to do to kind of maintain my collection once again. So yeah, I think what I'm most surprised about is things like my lemon lime maranta drying out like completely. There's like barely any water in the bottom of it, and so it's quite dry, which is quite a surprise for me. I wasn't expecting it to dry out because like this one has quite a big water reservoir, but it has. So I guess that's just what happens. The Monstera albo at the back that I cut down to nothing is doing really well, actually. It's got some like plain green bits, but also some albo-y bits, which is super exciting. So that's really good. What else? A very sad looking Cebu blue back here. It is so thirsty. Like, I'm really mad at myself for letting it get this far, because this is it's just so unfortunate. I mean, it already wasn't the happiest before and it needed some work, but I should have It's okay. It's okay. Sorry, I'm having like a mini panic now looking at all this stuff. I've been putting it off, but I need to look at it and I need to sort it out. So it's fine. It will all be okay, but there's work to be done. My fry deck, as you can tell, is very thirsty. It's in Pawn in a makeshift self-watering pot. Oh my god, my Piper is dead. Oh my god, okay. Sorry. But it's in a makeshift self-watering pot, which is just a normal nursery pot inside of a cache pot with a water reservoir. So I guess the water reservoir dried and now it is thirsty. I'm sure I can get it back. That's not really gonna be an issue. Oh my god, okay. I have no words. It's just dead. Oh my goodness, that's so sad. It was doing so well before I left as well. There's no words here. It's just dead. That's unfortunate. So this is one definitely dead plant. I might be able to save the roots. I will try. I might chop it back to nothing and see if I can save it, but I'm not gonna guarantee that because it is crispy. Like, do you hear that crunch? Okie doke. Well, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Exciting news. My Thai constellation was putting out a new leaf before I left, and holy cow, it's been opening while I was gone. And oh my god. Do you see that? Like, whole quarter of cream. And it's got so many fenestrations in there. I'm not gonna bug the leaf too much, but it's got at least 3 fenestrations. Oh my goodness. It's so exciting because like the leaf before it, gorgeous, but just one. And I'm hoping that this leaf gets as big as that one. And just with this gorgeous, oh, creamy spot, it's gonna be great. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Another very sad one, aka thirsty. This Anthurium forgetii. Oh my goodness. So this is the new leaf and it's still a little bit floppy, but it is thirsty like crazy. It also did lose this leaf, unfortunately. It's okay. I will water it and hopefully it'll perk up. Oh, is this new? This is new. Okay, again, exciting. But yeah, this is just like a roller coaster of a video. It's like, hey, this is all really great, and also dead. So I'm going through a whole roller coaster of emotions right now, which is super exciting. Also, these plants I found thrips on before I left, so I'm probably gonna have to treat them again, I suppose, this week to make sure that they're doing okay. Also, are you trying to grow into the wall? Because you can't do that. You're not allowed. But yeah, that's why these are a little bit separate right now. And I will get rid of the thrips on them because I love these plants so much. So, I mean, I love all my plants, but like these ones are some of my faves. Got a bit of a sad banana plant. I think it's just thirsty. It doesn't look as bad as when I didn't water it before I went to the States at Christmas, but it's still looking pretty sad. This one also had thrips, hence the predatory mites on it. So I need to treat this one again as well and like have a proper look at it. If I do find anything, I'll take video of it and show you, but I think hopefully it should be okay. Let's hope. The Thaumatophyllum bipidatifidum that I got from Claire, doing perfectly fine. It's just chilling, living life. It's got a couple yellow leaves in there, but I'm not surprised about that just because it had a bit of a change of location coming to mine. So it's fine. And as usual, the cast iron plant is sturdy as all hell and has been perfectly happy. This is why I love cast iron plants. They do their jam and they're fine. So the bedroom is very jungly, but there is some bad stuff in there. Also, hello Cleo. Do you guys want a dose of Cleo? You've not seen her for a minute. Hello, baby. Oh, I miss this little one so much. Oh, my beautiful baby. Okay, stop getting distracted, Emma. Let's look at these sad plants. My Alocasia gaggiana. It was already going through some like weird stuff with the leaves. I don't know if it's fungal issues or what, but they've been like going out quite funky for a while. I probably need to double check this plant for pests again, but it has lost several while I was gone. I'm not surprised. It's still like quite a large plant even without those ones, but Yeah, it's fine. This guy is so sad. My Adansonii, it looks so like pathetic and wilty right now, and it does have some like yellowing, browning in there that I need to prune off. I'm really hoping I can recover this, but it is like, it's so floppy. This one like desperately needs water. I feel like all the plants up here desperately need water. Yeah, this one feels quite weak as well. Like, you know when you can feel it in the leaves that it needs water? I can feel it. This one feels okay, surprisingly. But I recently put this one up there, the Alocasia poly from bulbs, and before it fit. And now it doesn't, so I don't know where I'm gonna put it because I thought that was a good spot for it. But apparently it's outgrown it. And like, look at that, I think that's a new leaf at the top that's touching the ceiling up there. So that's very exciting, but it also, it needs some love, because what's this? These guys over here have seen better days. So one, my spider plant, which I don't care about anymore. I'm done with it. I'm probably gonna bin it after this. It's fine. My Birkin, I think it's probably just really thirsty, but it does have some dead leaves back there and a new leaf emerging, so it can't be that unhappy, but I do need to check on it and remove those dead leaves. The Aglaonema white lance, it's doing okay. It's obviously thirsty, but overall it's fairly fine and will be okay once I trim off those leaves. I also put yellow sticky traps in here because my moss poles, I think, have gotten infested with the fungus gnats, and that's part of the problem. And so I put these in here, and they are also absolutely freaking covered with gnats. So I think I need to go through all of my moss poles really and just really intensely hydrogen peroxide soak them, and hopefully I can get them gone. Otherwise, these two plants have been growing so well. I'm not surprised at all that my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma has just like zoomed. I should have put more moss in it before I left, but I was quite busy that week, so I didn't. But I can put some in now, and hopefully this will attach to it. And this is just like one of the most insanely fast growing plants ever, and I love it. And the Monstera Standaliana is doing super well as well. It just popped out this new leaf while I was gone, which is super exciting. I think things have just gotten a lot more light and heat than they're used to in the UK, which is bad for watering's sake, but is really great for variegation. So I'm not gonna be mad about that because it's growing some more variegation, which is exciting, and it's loving the moss pole life. So I'm so glad I put it on here. I need to like attach this bit, but I can do that. So this zone is the zone that got quite jam-packed just before I left because I moved these to up here, the Hoyas. They were in my window before, and oh my god, I'm so glad that I took them out of my window because of the freaking heat wave. They would have freaking fried. I know I already fried my Polyneura in the last heat wave, but like, oh, it would have been so sad if I'd fried it again. So I'm very, very glad that I did not put it back in the window. It's doing pretty okay. It's still recovering from the initial fry, but overall, it's doing pretty fine. The Hoya Curtsii looks as if it's growing more. So it's got like loads and loads of little runners starting to pop out, which is quite exciting because this one was not doing its very best, but I think it's doing a lot better now. I think being a bit away from the window has helped a little bit as well, but again, it's dry. Everything's dry. They all need water. These guys in the back here also desperately need some water. Even the ones in pond that I filled fully are now fully dry, and like the moss poles too. But my white princess doing so well. Like, I'm just so pleased with it. I need to attach it to the pole again there probably and moisten the pole properly because it's really dry. My pink princess went a bit mental and unfortunately fried herself at the top here. Like, look at that leaf. it was touching the grow light a little bit too much. So I need to move the grow light or shift this plant so it's not quite touching it. But it's growing so fast. Like ever since I put it on the pole, it's just been sprouting leaf after leaf really, really, really quickly. My Epipremnum amplissimum is just really thirsty. It does have some kind of sad growth on it, which is quite unfortunate, but it'll be fine. I'm hoping that I can get it to perk up with a good watering and maybe repot, who knows. I'll have a look at it, and if it doesn't perk up with some water, I will repot it. Also, let's have a look at how freaking warm it is inside of my flat right now at 8 in the morning. Yeah, really good, isn't it? Everything down here doing perfectly fine. I'm really glad that I repotted this one before I left because I just would have been too stressed out leaving it in moss. It is growing pretty well now, which is great. It's got some new growth on there, which is super exciting. So I cannot complain. It is a happy camper. This was another box that I made before I left for my pond things. Aside from this here, they're doing really, really well. So it did like keep the water at the bottom, which is great. There is some loss in here. I say they're doing great. Some things are definitely not. Like this Palea is literally black. Okay, well, that's great. So aside from that little mess there and a little bit of issues with some alocasias that were a little bit too tall, it is growing really well in here. I think everything in here is, for the most part, pretty happy. I just realized that this was my Mellow that I got from Josie. Oh, that's really sad. Oh my goodness, the leaf is still so thick for being like completely bleh. But I think it'll be okay. It looks like there's a new leaf popping in there. So I'm hoping that it was just that one leaf. But yeah, I think this box worked really well. I would highly suggest it if you are going away and you've got lots of small plants in pond. This is a really good option for you because you can make sure that their water reservoirs are staying full rather than depleting very quickly, which very small plants in pond tend to do. So yeah, I think it was just the perfect option for what I needed, and I'm pretty proud of it. On this side, pretty much thirst is the main thing that I'm seeing. Like everything is very much drooping down and a bit floppy. That's okay. I will water it and hopefully it'll perk up. I think this leaf is new on this Monstera variegata because it only had this one before I left, and oh my goodness, the marbling on this is absolutely stunning. I've forgotten how much I love this plant. This was the new leaf on the other one before I left, and luckily it stayed quite white so far. I'm pretty sure it'll turn brown a bit because like every other bit has turned brown, but it just desperately needs some water. My Philodendron Dark Lord that I repotted in the before going away video, it had a very funky little leaf system growing, but I think I've managed to get it to grow upwards. As you can see, the leaf on it, which before was kind of facing forwards towards the what used to be its grow light, is now facing upwards towards its new overhead grow light, and hopefully that new growth in the back will pop up towards that grow light as well. My Stephania erecta is doing really well now. I think it likes this spot a bit better because it's getting quite a lot of grow light, but again, it is thirsty. It needs a good drink, but it's produced quite a lot of new leaves since I filmed my care video, which is pretty awesome. Oh goodness, this one might be a goner. I don't know, we'll see. So this was my Neon Robusta, and because it's in such a small pot, they dry out so quickly. I might be able to save it. They're like, the new growth on it doesn't look as bad as some of these really crispy leaves, but it'll need like a drastic chop down if nothing else. Oh, that's a bummer. Everything else back there is looking pretty good. My Marble Queen is definitely thirsty, but it should all be pretty okay. The Mother Marble Queen is also immensely thirsty. It makes me really sad to see it get this thirsty, and I know it's my bad for not giving it enough water or telling someone to give it enough water, but it really needs some. Hopefully, I'm really hoping it'll perk up once I've given it some water. It should do. I don't see why it wouldn't. The other golden pothos and this one here are doing pretty well. It's gonna be kind of hard to see because it's dark, but this one here, the vine goes all the way along here, and now it started to grow up by this grow light, which is super exciting. So when I left, it was just barely there. I think this leaf had just popped out, and so it's popped out 2 more leaves, and they're much more variegated, probably because they're getting more light from the grow light, which is super exciting. We have some very thirsty satin pothos here. It just desperately needs a drink, and this probably does as well, the String of Hearts Silver Glory. But overall, these things are looking pretty okay, except for that varicosum up there, which might be dead. So it's very not happy. It's like super duper crispy and super duper floppy, and like obviously the moss pole dried out, but I think the soil dried out completely as well. Oh, again, I'm gonna try and save it. Maybe I can like prop wet sticks, but I don't have the highest of hopes for this one, unfortunately. It's not the end of the world, but it is the potential end of this varicosum. Last room I want to show you is the kitchen, because I'm actually really excited about my Alocasia poly. Since I left, it popped out this new leaf here, which is super exciting. Sorry you can't see it well because the light is very backlit, but popped out that, and it's got some new growth coming in there as well, which is super duper exciting. I'm just so ready for this to be a happy plant again. It's been so long, and I'm so proud of it. So yeah, that is it. That is how all of my plants are doing right now after 2 weeks of me not caring for them. As you can see, there's a lot of good and bad in there. It's not all one way or the other, and I am just super glad to be back with my plants, really. I know that sounds really weird, but I'm hoping that if you're watching this video you understand and you get that, like, we love them and we like taking care of them, and so seeing them unhappy makes us unhappy, and seeing them thrive makes us feel like amazing. So I'm like a very jumbled mess of planty emotions right now. But yeah, that is it. That is my update. I desperately need to go water my plants now. I did this before I water my plants for you. Mostly because I wanted you to see how it is, the real deal about it all, because it's not great, is it? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future, and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!